So we finally closed back above this 218 here, which was where we consolidated before the sell-off that began second week of September.
Cellcom CEO, an Israeli court rejecting Cellcom's 34 million shekel lawsuit.
And so that's where we are. So the question is, do we start to spend some time up here? You can see last time we were up here, there was a bunch of little fake down moves below 217. See all these wicks down here? So if we do intraday sell off for a 217.50 rate, if we come off into the 216.60s, 50s or something like that, that could be interesting to see if we start getting some wicks similar to this. So in the after hours, we actually almost got to 219. So yesterday, the breakout was from 217.5. After getting above 217, we came back, tested it for a second here in the middle of the day, and then had the $1.50 up move right into the after hours. So we're going to have an alert here at 217.25. Look at the 30-minute. Yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4 times these wicks above 217.25. Finally, we closed above it, and then that was it for the rest of the day. So, quick whoosh into this area right on the open is interesting. IWM, we did take out that 128.50 we'd been targeting early, which is a really nice buy. Did buy into this, and then we held above the half for a couple hours. We're popping up at the end of the day, topping out at 129.80s. So it seems like we have a decent range here. We started talking about this yesterday. Can we get a range 28.5 to 130-ish? Maybe a couple more days, see what happens on Friday. So that's kind of where we are now. In the pre-market, we were down below 129, and we're working our way back up towards the close right now. So 129.50 to 129.80 is a sell area, and I'd be careful about buying until 128.60s. Size of this run up here. Target. So let's take a look at the daily. So target, gap down on earnings to the 60s, worked all the way back up to the mid 70s. This morning we're in this range. If we look in the last week or so, we'd actually gap below being sold. We gap below the low here and then just closed at the high and then gapped up. So obviously a lot of buying coming into earnings, good volume.
No, I've got a whole list of shippers.
I feel like I've been saying this a lot lately, but where it's gapping to, the risk reward is not particularly good on the long side.
And trading tops.
Broke down from here, failed here again, came up hard. We are a little bit below this right now.
Top list, and then drives, of course. Also, Facebook's got news this morning.
So we were above 77.5 by $1 this morning.
Keep an eye on it.
Now we're holding below.
Really gets sold off. 110.
Sellers in control now.
See if it can capitulate down there for a bounce.
Let's see what happens at the 76. On the conference call right now. Lows, the opposite, bad numbers, bad guidance. That's reflected in the daily chart. So let's compare this to Home Depot. So Home Depot just executing a lot better than Lowe's. What? It's actually on a percentage basis. 52. Actually, not that much worse. I mean, today will be the separator. It ends up closing below the 65. Coming into today, though, on a percentage basis wasn't really down much more than Home Depot. So they're on the conference call right now as well. It's done a couple 100,000 shares, which is only about 3% of its daily volume. So this is the support I have on the sheet is 65 to 65. My preference would be like a little pop on the open short of here and play for move to 65. That gives you a pretty good risk reward to work with. If it's going to be one of those situations where it just gets sold off all day, what we'll look for is a failure at 65 and it's starting to consolidate below. But so far they haven't said anything on the conference call to get it to bounce. It's going to be liquid. It's 7 million shares normally. We could be looking at 15 to 20 million shares. So might probably be more liquid than. It's going to be a little bit more liquid than Target, most likely. Even though Target's done more volume in the pre-market. It's kind of interesting. Facebook. I put Facebook on here. It's had some unusual moves the last 3 opens in the last 5 days. It sold off from 124 to 116 on the open the other day. We made a lot of money buying right on the open on this. Even that was the liquidation of the NASDAQ fund. And a couple of days ago, sold off 5 points right on the open. So that's something similar to 112. I bids in down by 112. Recent earnings, but the quarter before, this 116 area was really important. So just keep an eye on it. If 11, let's watch it over the next few days to see if it closes back above 116. I think if it gets a close back above 116 after this pretty big sell-off, it's interesting. And C-Trip, they brought in a new CEO, gapping lower. This had sold off recently from the high 40s back down to 40, and then it's gapping now, starting to form base. They're buying it here at kind of 40. They bought it higher, so we want to see. This is an area where you want to be long in this area right here. You want to see it close above 42. Twilio had its first real green day in a while. Every time we've played it for a bounce, it would go up and then back down and go up and go back down. I lost track of it the last couple of days, but it clearly was being accumulated in the 31.25 area 3 days in a row. Took out 33.5, got almost back to this 36. The fact that Snapchat announced yesterday they're doing their IPO could be actually a catalyst for this one, since it was the best IPO we've had in a couple of years. The only issue is it's already done the I think we talked about when it finally bottomed, it would have a 20% move right off the bottom, which it did already. Longer term, 20% off the bottom. We take it back to the mid 40s. This area here. People are already buying it in the pre-market. I was looking at this area down here, 34, 40 to 34. If they got a quick sell right in the open to buy it here, play it back up to 36, see what happens. DKS actually sold off the long-term support right at the end of the day. I did not have a script or anything there, but here it is in the daily. Played it in the morning, I think from 55.5 and sold to 57. They got stopped out, but this is anytime a company has earnings and is gapping down a lot to a alert, you always play it for a bounce off of this level. In this case, it went to it and bounced a little bit over $2. I don't know the chances. It's probably unlikely that it touches this again, at least in the next couple of days. So I have an alert about $1 above this, 55.5. See the volume that came in here?
Was that?
Closed above 56. So it's a tough call. We were buying it at 55.5 all morning. They finally took it out. They retested, sold at the level, then went to the long-term support, then had the real bounce. So I'll look at it on the 56, but it's tough not having been in it from this 2-point move right here. And then Apple shorted this yesterday above 107.50. End of the day, came back up there. I did not reshort it. To change this, the sellers are really controlling Apple right now. You got to close up in this area here, that would be different. But worth shorting can get into this area. If it gets above that, then it's 108.50, about $1 higher. My thoughts on dry ships? It's halted. You can't trade it. Most people probably aren't qualified to trade it. It's extremely difficult. $1, $2 spread. It's a very low float, under 500 million shares, so has a bunch of reverse stock splits. So if it hadn't had a reverse stock split, it'd probably be trading below $1. Difficult to control your risk. Easy way to blow up your account.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.